sunset to sunset. She's a dark flower, or jet black roses. That's how they know her. The Rolling Stoner, the Rolling Stoner, the Rolling Stoner.
Welcome to the Rolling Stoner podcast. My name is Roland, of course. Rolling Stoner, triple S is on that B. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode numero 67. That's episode number 67. We rolling out here. Woo! On the menu today is GG Gorilla Glue. Now, it's an indica, and I don't know the percentages because it's not tracked. It's not traced. You know how that goes. But this time I actually spiked it with some moon rocks. Yeah, moon rocks. I never had moon rocks before. Finally had it. Oh, wow. Wow, because it's 100% THC. You can't just smoke. You can't roll up moon rocks. But if you had a bong or a pipe, you could smoke it through that. But still, it's moon rocks. So I spiked it with that. So this is going to have me flying to the moon, of course. But we're going to try to get this show done smoothly, quickly, and welcome back. So before we roll this up, we got an up-and-coming artist to listen to. And you know how we're doing this show recently. I've been doing this consistently this is about the third week. So it might still keep going or it might not. But this artist that we're going to listen to, hold on, let me put on headphones before I spark this. Let me set this thing up real quick. His name is Cool Cam, and the song is called Chanel. Put it on headphones. Okay, here we go. He has a video and everything. It's pretty cool. I like that. Because like I said last week, I got a lot of requests, a lot of submissions, and usually it's people with one song in the last 5 years. Like, he actually has a video. A good video, too.
So
pretty cool.
So cool.
Here you go, Cool Cam.
I put the devil in Chanel. That's my little angel baby. Yeah, she got me in her spell. Said she coming for my soul. I don't got a soul to sell. In pursuit of happiness, who knew Nirvana was in hell? I could see the bad intentions in her eyes. No tears, only blood when she cries. She could sell me anything and I'll buy. So tell me lies, tell me lies, tell me lies. I'll tell you what you wanna hear, while my fingers in your hair. I ain't looking for your heart, and I know you wouldn't dare to give a fuck about my feelings. I'll still take you anywhere, cause we're living with no ceilings, and I live for your stare. Stop fucking with these lames, you know they ain't me. You know exactly what to say to persuade me, but you ain't really talking shit to me lately. Hello from the dark side, can you save me? I'm a woman, wolf pack, nobody made me. You talking shit, but I'm hot, you can't shade me. She the devil, but she prayed to me daily, and I put her in Chanel like they pay me. I put the devil in Chanel. That's my little angel baby. Yeah, she got me in her spell. Said she coming for my soul. I don't got a soul to sell. In pursuit of happiness, who knew Nirvana was in hell? I could see the bad intentions in her eyes. No tears, only blood when she cries. She could sell me anything and I'll buy. So tell me lies, tell me lies, tell me lies.
Again, that was Cool Cam, Chanel. Whew. Okay, let me take this off. Now, let's begin. Now, let's start with the stoner score. Now, this is the third week. Not third week. This is about the fourth week. Maybe fifth. I think fourth week. Going on the stoner score. If you're not familiar with the stoner score, it's basically I give a score of the hottest albums that I choose to listen to this past week that dropped last Friday. And I give them a score 1 to 10, whichever Right now, the criteria is basically something you could leave in the background, chill with your boys, smoke, take a smoke break or rolling stoner. We're rolling out here. So you leave it in the background and it's smooth. It goes all the way through. That's what it is now. Now, in the future, probably next week, I'm probably most likely, I'm not going to promise anything in case I forget because, I forget some stuff out here. Ain't going to lie to you, dog. But next week, I'm going to give an actual criteria. So I've put it, because right now it's real simple to get a 10 on the stoner score. A lot of people haven't gotten it yet, but it's silly. It's stupid simple to get a 10 on the stoner score right now. Next week, it's going to get a little tougher because I'm going to have actual criterias. So I'm going to explain that next week. I'm going to make them up and everything's going to fall into place. All into one, from the album artwork to the title. Like, everything's gonna come together to form the real stoner score, and that's crazy because like I said before, I'm gonna be tightening things up and improving on things because this thing just started, so it's gonna get improved as we go on, and it's a helicopter just hovering. Yeah, so next week, hopefully I remember to produce the criteria and then make it actually, make more sense instead of just saying, oh, the albums are good, I got it. It's improving. It's slow, but you know how that goes. So Future dropped this past week, last Friday, and it's called High of Life. I listened to it. It's when Future drops, it hits the timeline ASAP. He's an artist that we're always looking forward to his next drops. We're always looking forward to his new projects. And he dropped High of Life. Now, I listened to it, the whole thing, and I must say, Future is the man of the streets. The streets, yeah. Word on the street is Future is that man. And he's been that man for almost a decade now. But it's kind of time for him to pass the torch on to Lil Baby, Gunna. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about that. But Future, when I listened to his album High of Life, the first, let's say, maybe up to around the 10, the more it went down, the less interesting it became. That I'll just leave it as that. It became a little less interesting the more the tracks kept going. Now let's say the first 5, I'm not being specific. I'm not sure. I didn't put down the specific because, this hasn't gotten in depth yet. But it was what the streets has been waiting for. The first 5 or so, it was what the streets has been waiting for. That's what I'll say. We like that. That was a hint of the old Future, which we really like. But he's transitioning and he has to. And I've heard different analysts saying, yeah, he has to sing more. And, I think they're basically saying he has to kind of grow with his audience. That's what I believe. But yeah, because, the Lil Babies and the Gunners are out here now, The street anthems are out here now. And speaking of that, Gunna just dropped a new song. It was hot. It was hot. Like, he doesn't have to say much, dude. He just needs to say 5 things. You could repeat it all day. Look, dog, shit's hot. The streets is bopping to that. Shit's hot. I think it's called Wanna. He just said Wanna like 1,000 times. That shit is go. It's a go. Well, back to Future's High of Life, okay? That was a tangent, but we're back because this helicopter just keeps... It happens a lot. It happens a fucking lot. Cops... As the album kept going, it kind of started missing some threes. You feel me? It was hitting... it was in and out. Some of them were in and out, but it kind of started missing some threes. So... his album is actually good. I did like the album. I'll give it a 7 on the stoner score, but it wasn't primetime Future. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't primetime Future. I still like it. I'm still looking forward to his next album. It's not. I don't believe Future has dropped a dud yet. Like a album where we're like, we don't know about you. You know, has it been a fluke? No. We never had that. He's guaranteed. He's solidified at this point. So I'm looking forward to his future albums. I'm not here to tell him the route to go on his future albums, but I am looking forward to him. That's for sure. Now, Polo G dropped an album. A lot of people have been waiting for this album. And me specifically, I wasn't waiting for this album because I'm just getting introduced to these other artists, and the takeover is in effect. Polo G's album came, and because he's been hyped so much, I've heard so much about him, I just had to listen to it, and it threw me off when the title is The GOAT. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna give actual criterias later on, probably next week or so, but the title is a no-go. See, I just hate how people these days just cheapen words. Like, they mean nothing. Gods mean nothing anymore. GOAT means nothing anymore. Obviously, he named this album The GOAT. Now, you could say he's looking for in the future, but no. The first album he dropped is called Die a Legend. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. But The GOAT? Never. Not on this one. Not on this one. Yeah. Not on this one. You can't just, he's too young. He only had one other project before this. The word GOAT doesn't mean much anymore. That's what I've noticed. They just use it, they just throw it around frequently. The GOAT. Oh, Polo G's the GOAT. From where? From where? Like, you need a body. You need a body of work, at least. Second album, sophomore, The GOAT. Nah, G. Nah, we ain't jegging with that one. Nah. And the album was cool. It was cool. It's a good introduction. Like I said, I'm just getting introduced to all these artists because I'm doing this now, so I'm listening. I'm opening up my spectrum, and it was cool. It was cool. There's some TikTok songs that I recognize, which I really liked, but the GOAT, nah. I wish people would stop just throwing away words like these. These words used to have meaning. When words don't have meaning anymore, it's kind of, you could be whatever you want. You could say whatever, you could snitch if you'd like. Words just yeah, that's what it seems. People calling each other the God. Nah. The GOAT. The GOAT is one person. Like, okay, I know I'm talking about his album. I'm just stuck at the title. So I'll give the stoner score. He gets yeah, because the title was like, he had to live up to that. He has some very cool songs, some songs with high replay value, but the GOAT, nah. Album is good. The GOAT, nah. So I'll give this one a 6. Because the expectation was, you see how this is not in the frame? That's where the expectation was at with that title. So I gotta expect the GOAT. I gotta throw Kendrick's albums away because nah, this nigga go. But nah. The word just doesn't mean as much at this time. That's what it's looking like. So that's a 6 because the standard was set way too high with that title, and that's my introduction to him. It was a good album. I like the album, but don't play with words. Moneybag Yo. He dropped the album and it's called Time Served. The album this is my first time listening to a Moneybag Yo project. I liked it. I really liked it. For the stoner score, how you could just listen and it flows all the way through. All but one. That Summer Walker's song should not have been on this album. It should have been on Summer Walker's album, and Moneybag Yo could feature on that. But I know he had to have it there. I know he didn't. It wasn't an artistic vision to have that there. With the whole project, how it was, that song was way out of place. Way out of place. It did not fit there. It felt like it was her song featuring him, but it's on his. It did not fit there. Maybe it was more business that it was there, but that song did not fit on the album. Nah. Other than that, the album was great. It was great. I really liked it. Stoner purposes, you can leave it in the background while you do your business, and it's, I'll give it about an 8. An 8 for that album, and it's called Time Served Moneybag Yo. Another one that you might not, this is a Leftfield one. I do one of these every week, it seems, right? Yeah. I did Bad Bunny last week, right? Okay, so it's Don Toliver and Heaven or Hell. Good album. I liked it. I really liked it. It was good. It's not a vibe every single day for me. It's a different sound to, like, let's say Moneybag Yo. It's a whole different spectrum. And it was good to me. I liked it. It had some, like a few songs that have a high replay value. That's very big for me. Like if I go back, this is how I listen to the album. I'll listen to it all the way through. Then I'll come back and listen again, but skip a lot frequently. Like, okay, I heard this, done. Just skip. Oh, this song, I'll play that one song like 20 times. I'm crazy like that. Then skip 20 times. Because it's just the songs that I really like, I vibe with. Like, it's the mood for what I'm at right now. I use albums as basically a timestamp of time. So in the future, maybe 5 years from now, when I hear that album, those same songs that I listen to repetitively, I'll remember exactly where I was at when I listened to it the first time, what I was doing, the smells, the touch, everything. That's kind of what albums are to me. So Don Toliver's album was pretty good. I'll give it an 8 on the stoner score. And again, as I said, next week, I'm going to give actual criteria for these things so you know why the numbers are there. Next week, of course. Okay, so I have to make a correction. All right, about 2 weeks ago, I said High Times bought Humboldt Heritage. Yeah, so have you ever heard that thing when they said if you study high and you take a test, you got to be high so you could pass the test because you studied high? It kind of goes the same way if you shoot high and you edit high. You're going to make some dumbass mistakes. Okay, so this is how it happened. So I knew that High Times bought a bunch of dispensaries, 13 to be exact. I knew that. So when I was doing pre-production, which is a 15-minute thing, you know how that goes. I'd be freestyling and shit. So I looked it up real quick. High Times bought, Humboldt Farms. So as I was recording, I was saying they was going to create dispensaries. Then I cut it. I was like, no. Humboldt Farms, they're producers. So then I went back and just said, okay, they're just going to produce a bunch of High Time strains or High Time packaging. Come to find out, what I knew to be true was that they did buy those dispensaries, and it was a letter of intent. I don't know, when I looked it up, it gave me the news from like March instead of the news from like that week I was talking about it, which was Yeah, they bought dispensaries. It was letter of intent back in March. So I'm just guessing that they wanted to get the producers, and they just decided to buy a whole bunch of dispensaries for $80 million. So that's the correction I had to make, and now it's correct. Okay, so before I get out of here, I told you it's going to be short. It's one of those weeks, so it's going to be short. I want to give you just a few things you should know, or that you should have in the back of your mind, that, I'm here to update you for a second. And that's that a pharmaceutical company, Moderna, they came out with something like a almost successful vaccine for the coronavirus. Now, let me read it real quick so I don't screw this up like I did the MMJ thing. They said, its experimental novel coronavirus vaccine induced immune responses in some of the healthy volunteers and who were vaccinated in the clinical study. Now, this is not a sure thing. It's possible for it to be successful, but it's not a sure thing yet. They have to do a bigger trial, and it's a whole process to these things. So, but this is a very, very big good news that they're very optimistic, but still, it's not a short thing, and it's Moderna. They're the ones that just created this vaccine, it seems. It seems, but with the U.S., it takes time, and there's other companies still going for this vaccine. So I'm gonna update when last time, it wasn't last week, but maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, I talked about remdesivir. So this week it's Moderna's drug or vaccine. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll update once this comes through. And I think if they got something, yes, that'd be great. So people could stop dying, because people are still dying. If you didn't notice, the states, Texas, theirs went up after they started opening. So the states that are starting to reopen, they're going back up. So gotta be careful, because the government really wants you to open, because niggas is broke. The government is in debt. Dog, you ain't know they're in big debt. Sending these checks, and I do want another check, dog. They're sending these checks, they're in debt. So they want you to get back to work. So that's why they're opening everything. They're trying to get you to open everything. But they got to do it safely so people don't die. Okay? But vaccine might be coming. It just takes time. And that's something you should be aware of. And another thing you should be aware of, I talked about this weeks, maybe even months ago, how T-Mobile finally bought Sprint. It's official. It took years. I've been on Sprint because I was expecting this to happen years ago. And it finally happened. And now they're about to dissolve Sprint name. So Sprint will be gone forever. So this is a thing. If you grew up with Sprint has been around for a long time, but now it's part of T-Mobile, and soon there'll be no more Sprint. Sprint, the name, the yellow things, I don't even know what that thing is. You know how it goes. Whatever that thing is, it's all gone. I mean, I always hated Sprint, but I had Sprint, it was, why we had Sprint. But it's a lot better now, because it was been with T-Mobile for a while now. They've been using the same towers, so it's pretty good. But bye-bye, Sprint. There's no more Sprint.
Don't worry about the future. We're in good hands.